You hear the words Navy SEAL, and you know they mean business. From the roles they play, the unbreakable bonds they form with each other, the commitments they make, and their training. Oh, their training. But their training goes beyond working with each other. They also extend it to their canine partners or their military working dogs. And if you've ever seen them in action, you know they have a respect for authority, care for others' well-being, and a commitment to getting things done right. Well, our next guest is a driving force behind that training. Mike Ritlin is a former Navy SEAL, the creator of Warrior Dog Foundation, and author of Team Dog, How to Train Your Dog the Navy SEAL Way. He joined us today with some tips. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So you've trained working dogs, you've trained military dogs, but let me ask you something. If I'm talking about a house pet, wouldn't the training be a little different?
Really the only difference is the medium in which you are training, the environment and what the end goal is. The imperative thing to remember is that the principles that you employ, the guidelines that you use to get from point A to point B are the exact same, whether you're teaching a top-tiered anti-terrorism unit, canine handler, or your 65-year-old grandmother keeping her Labradoodle off the couch.
So same underlying message, big dog, small dog, whatever the breed?
Absolutely. There are some limitations in terms of, physically, what is the prospective owner able to accomplish. I wouldn't have a 5'2", 90-pound, 75-year-old woman, take on a Great Dane puppy, for example. Having said that, I've seen a number of very, very slightly built, smaller females that control, and have great relationships with these big, powerful, dogs that, because they use their body a certain way and they reinforce good behavior, they extinguish bad behavior in conjunction with, good nutrition and mental and physical stimulation, consistency, timing, all those things together. I've seen a multitude of relationships that you almost scratch your head saying, how does that work? But having said that, I think it's important for everybody to stack the cards in your favor and realize what you can handle both physically and from a time management standpoint. If you're really busy and you don't have a ton of time to exercise a dog, then it's probably not the best idea to get a big, strong, highly driven working dog.
Okay, so if I want to get into my dog's head, what's the most important thing I need to know about how my dog thinks?
Without question, it's the fact that we're visual and verbal. They are nonverbal and body language driven. So the way that you would walk into say a job interview or presenting a boardroom executive with a presentation, et cetera, the way that you carry yourself in that environment is how you need to interact with your dog. Unquestionably, that's what dogs understand. That's what they respect. What you show your dog is what they're going to think of you. So if you act foolish and like a clown essentially, your dog's going to perceive you that way, and he's not going to respect you or trust your authority.
Gotcha. Mike, thank you so much for spending some time this afternoon. Before I let you go, tell me more about the Warrior Dog Foundation.
Sure. The Warrior Dog Foundation is a nonprofit that I started a few years ago that our main mission statement is to retire former special operations military dogs. And we do one of two things. We either act as an indefinite sanctuary for them if they're dogs that can't be rehomed, or if they're dogs that we can rehabilitate and get to a certain level that we can rehome them to a normal civilian family or just a normal living environment, then we do that. And we're about 50-50. Some dogs we still have, about half of them we've been able to rehome. And so WarriorDogFoundation.org is a good reference to find out more about it and support it if you're interested.
Mike Ritlin, author of Team Dog, How to Train Your Dog the Navy SEAL Way. Mike, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. If you'd like to read more about what Mike just had to say, go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page to read more. We're speaking of training. Predicting snow, sleet, rain, any weather takes a lot of training. And when people aren't happy with how a forecast turns out, boy, do they take to social media to let us know. Up next, the WBOC Weather Team stops by to address some of its harshest critics. Delmarva Live will be right back.